Hey, Rob, what's that?
What's what?
That thing right in front of you, man.
Oh, you mean the script that's telling me to remind our listeners to subscribe to Geeklirious on iTunes or any platform of their choice?
Yeah, but wasn't there more?
Alright, let me take a look. Hey, there's a part where I tell the listeners to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter using our handle @Geeklirious.
Yeah, that's the best line I ever wrote.
Oh, crap. I deleted it. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 39 of Geeklirious, recorded live right here in Geeked Up Comics and Games, North Massapequa, New York. I got it out that time.
Yay, so that was good.
There we go. My name is Brian Cambriello. His name is Mike Tessmacher.
Hello.
And today, as you could tell by the title, we're going to be talking some Dead Cells and our favorite, or most of our favorite, side-scrolling platformers from the beginning of time to the end of time, or at least where we currently stand in this swirling, twirling world we call Earth on the universe, and as we plummet through space at high velocities.
Yeah.
Thank you, Neil deGrasse Tyson. Yeah. So, Mike, how have you been? Let's do a little catch-up. But not like the condiment, like the...
Yeah. It's all about honey mustard anyway.
What's the honey mustard? Alright, what you got?
I'm doing good. Pretty good.
That's good.
I haven't been really doing too much, actually, besides playing Dead Cells. And Witcher 3, which we talked about last week, I think. Did we?
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah, I'm still doing that. I'm still in, like, the first area of Velen or whatever. So.
What's it called?
Velen.
Velen.
Vell. Vel.
Not like Halen,
yeah.
like Van Halen. Velen.
No, yeah, Velen. Really enjoying that. Enjoying it way more the second time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, now that you know the game mechanics, you can kind of like, I guess, suit your playthrough a little bit better. That's cool.
Yeah. And I'm making, like, better choices and stuff. Besides that, I've been watching Infinity War, like, a lot as well.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Is that on Netflix?
No, I've been watching it through other means.
Okay. I got you. That came out, didn't it?
It is on
digital?
Blu-ray. Yeah.
Okay. Nice.
But I've been watching it. Been watching it like crazy. I watched it this afternoon. Really enjoying that still.
That's
Every
cool.
time where, Vision and Scarlet Witch getting attacked and Captain America appears behind the train that's passing by and stuff, gives me goosebumps.
I gotta watch it again. I haven't watched it since I saw it in the theater.
That's a shame.
I know.
Definitely, it's nice to watch in, like, your own home, and you get to really dissect, hold on, let me
yeah,
rewind that to that part and stuff.
That's really cool.
It's sort of cool. Like,
yeah, it's the way you catch little Easter eggs, little references, like, oh, it says, Stark on that box over there or something.
Yeah, that's
a Stark equipment.
That's how they caught that scarf on that villain's.
Oh yeah, the
body
Captain Marvel color scheme.
Yeah,
that's cool. Yeah,
really good. Enjoying that. How about you? What have you been doing?
Well, I've been playing Kingdom Hearts 2. About maybe an hour and a half every night.
Yeah. How far are you?
When I can. I got pretty far. I'm not quite sure. I've never played the game before, so I'm not quite sure where I am in the whole scheme of things. But
would you say you're about halfway?
I'm probably about halfway, if I had to guess. There's a lot more to do, and I got to do a lot more grinding. But of
course.
So what I do? So there's a lot of, this is my first time playing it. I've never really watched anything for that game before, so it's kind of a surprise every time I get to a new area.
Yeah.
So it was cool. I think the one that was most surprising to me was Pirates of the Caribbean. Mm-hmm. That was really cool. Having Jack Sparrow join your party and like fighting with you, like that was awesome to me. Like I'm a huge Pirates fan, so that was awesome. And then later on in the game, you go back to some of the places you've already visited. So I've been doing that. I redid the what is it? It's Mulan's level. It's called the Land of Dragons,
mm-hmm.
and that was pretty cool. And then I went back and played. There's another part of the Pirates level it had this really fun boss. He was a bit annoying, but it was a lot of fun. And the boss in Land of Dragons was very cool too. He was like a giant Chinese dragon, heartless, that like flew around, and you had to jump up on these little tornadoes to get on his back and stuff. It was very cool.
Interesting.
Yeah, no, it's sick. I did the Tron. There's a Tron level in there, which is pretty cool. That's where you get Stitch, and as you know, Stitch is like my favorite Disney character. So having him as a summon in that game is awesome. He's so much fun. Oh my god. Plus, like easily the best summon that you have, because when you hit people while using him, they drop MP like bubbles, like to charge your magic back up, and that's super useful because that's how you heal yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Really fun time playing that. It's getting pretty difficult, so I gotta grind a little bit, get my stats up. I think go visit some older levels. There's so many different mechanics in that game. It's hard. You have to level up your summons, you have to level up your drive forms, you have to level up yourself.
Yeah.
So you gotta
RPGs.
Yeah, there's a lot. What's up?
You gotta love the RPGs.
Mm-hmm. This is definitely the most extensive RPG I've ever played. It really is. No, like I like I said, this is the first, I guess you can say, the first JRPG I've ever played. I've never played Final Fantasy, so yeah. I'm assuming that this is a similar style to those games.
No.
No?
Well, it depends which Final Fantasy you're talking about. The newer ones, maybe more like them, but no, not the old ones. The old ones are all turn-based.
Oh, are they? I don't know. Like I said, never played them. But you know what I did play? A lot of side-scrollers growing up. So let's talk about Dead Cells. Let's open up with that. So, Mike, what's it available for? I know it's available for the Nintendo Switch, but I know that you didn't play it on that.
No. Well, I think it's out on pretty much everything. I'm playing on PS4.
Okay.
But I believe it's on PC and Xbox as well. Not entirely sure about that.
Yeah, my buddy Steve brought it over, and he was showing it to me. I played it a little bit. Very fun. Very reminiscent of like older side scrollers. It's definitely got that classic look. It looks like it could fit right in on like a Super Nintendo or something, you know?
In ways, yeah, it definitely invokes the retro look.
Yeah.
But it looks way better. It's like what you think, like nostalgia-wise, how old games looked.
Mm-hmm.
But then when you actually look at them, they're horrible. This is like what that would have looked in your mind. So it's just gorgeous. It's dark, but there's humor in it. A lot of humor.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. There's no voice acting in it. There's just some really good music. Good,
there's dialogue, like text-based?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But there's not a lot of dialogue, because the story, you find out, it's very bare, the story. You basically just assemble at the beginning of the game. And, well, before that, it's a side-scroller Metroidvania-ish game, but it's also a roguelike, which means once you die, you have to start all the way from the beginning again. You lose everything.
That's interesting.
But there's these dead cells, they're like blue orbs, that you can pick up in like various ways. Like sometimes an enemy will drop it along with its loot and stuff. And that gives you, at the end of the level, you can go to a place that like you can upgrade your stuff. And with the dead cells, when you upgrade stuff, that's permanent, even if you die. So there's stuff that sticks, but only the dead cells. If you like buy a weapon or something, you die, you lose that. All your upgrades that while you're playing, you lose. But the dead cell stuff, you keep, and you can start the game off with a certain amount of potions. Like I upgraded it to and like with the dead cells, you like each perk, I guess you would call it. Like let's say it costs like 20 dead cells, so you have to use 20 of your dead cells, but you can't continue without spending your dead cells too. So it really gives you an incentive to go all out with your stuff and really play you're not saving stuff. Right. Like there's a lot of games that'll be like, okay, I'm gonna need that for later, let me hold on to a few dead cells. No, you have to spend it to, like, when you're at the guy that you give them to, you have to spend it all or the door won't unlock to proceed, so you can't go further. So you have to spend all that, and then you can get... So basically it's like a hack and slash, a lot of platforming. Yeah, and you'll go on to these... You'll know it's part of the story, because it'll have, like, blue candles.
Okay.
Near, like, things that'll give you, like, story. So you can interact with, like... There was like a hanging body, and you could interact with that. And it doesn't tell you a lot about the story, so I can't really explain the story. Basically, you're in this huge castle that's like falling apart, but it's like a prison as well.
Right.
So it's just a castle dungeon, and you're going throughout it, and yeah, you're just fighting and upgrading. You get your dead cells, you can upgrade how much money you can keep from dying. So I have it up, like, I can keep up to like 6,000 gold right now when I die. Still trying to level that up a little bit more. It's just really, really good. It just incentivizes you to get like these cool items, and a lot of it's random, like the levels. When you restart, like, the level, it looks the same, but it has a different layout to it.
Okay.
So there's a little bit of randomness to it that keeps it fresh. I really like it. I haven't played a game like this in a while. And normally I don't like games that are roguelikes where if you die, you lose everything pretty much.
Yeah, that's like that game Spelunky, right?
Yeah. This, it's cool because it's quick too. Like, you can play, do a level, get some dead cells, spend it, and then you're good. You don't have to. And I don't feel like I'm dying a lot either. Like, especially like unfairly. Like earlier today, it pissed me off because I fell down and I died, and that was not cool. I hate dying just by falling. Not even a creature killing me, but stupid just falling because I jumped back too far because I was fighting or whatever. There's some really cool stuff you can, the weapons you can get these daggers, the twin daggers, you can get a bow and arrow, and there's cooldowns for each, like, there's an R2 and an L2 slot. You can throw, like, bombs, you can throw, like, fire bombs, ice bombs, you can freeze enemies and do, like, awesome combos, and I like jumping and rolling out of, like, the way and, like, fighting, just killing people. It's really cool. It's hard to explain because there's so much of it's just visual, and it's like a cool arcade game. You don't have to think too much. What am I missing?
Did you talk about the pile of dead bodies?
There is a pile of dead bodies.
So what I noticed from my few seconds playing the game with my friend, my friend buddy Steve, my buddy friend, he every time you die, there's a pile of dead bodies that stays there when you spawn.
Yeah,
which I find hysterical. Which I guess is what you were saying before, when there's a lot of funny things in the game. I think a pile of, like, how big does that pile get? Is it like infinite, or is there like a cap for like dead bodies?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
That'd be hysterical if, like, you got an achievement for, like, maxing out the area of dead bodies. It's like, stop dying!
Yeah.
5 gamer score.
There's a lot of really cool things in it. Like, you'll go up to this body, and he's dead or whatever, and he had, like, a guitar or something. He was, like, an old body or whatever. And when you first start, the first time you go up to him, it's like, oh, he recently died. It was a recent die. And then as you play, you come up to it, but it's like more deteriorated.
Oh,
and
that's
like,
cool.
This body's old. It's been here a while. So it's like time is like going still.
Wow. That's really cool.
It's really cool. And it rewards you for like playing in different ways too. Like if you want to speed run it, like there's certain areas you can go to that that you have to get into in a certain amount of time. Like if you don't get to this door within 4 minutes of starting, it will be locked. You just can't go into it until you die and you come back and stuff. And but then there's also, but if you don't, and it also rewards you for exploring fully too and getting to hard reach areas and stuff. I'm just really enjoying it. There's a lot of cool platforming levels. It never seems unfair. The enemies can be difficult at times, but that's only if you really don't, like, if you let them swarm you. But there's a lot of cool things you can do, like when you jump and like slam, you can do a jump and slam into the ground, and combo out of that. Like if an enemy is near a door, you can hit the door and it'll stun the enemy also, and you can get a combo into that. And there's different upgrades for everything you can get. Oh, what's up?
Well, we didn't have Jeff the Fly, but we had a random man opening the back door.
Yeah.
the life of recording in a comic book shop. But yeah, it sounds like
That's what he gets for coming through the back. Like, go in the front.
Yeah, right. It's like, what, you special?
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah. Really enjoying it.
Yeah.
I'm still fairly early on, I would say. Maybe I'm like halfway through. It's hard to tell with that game.
Okay.
I don't know exactly how long it is. I'm really enjoying it though.
That's cool. Yeah, so when you complete the game, or I don't even know if you complete a game like that. I feel like it's one of those replayability type things. But
yeah, I think there's definitely like an end to it, but you can like keep going. It's just that fun game where you can just one more round, like one more. Let me go till I die again. Let me go. And it's fun like that.
That sounds cool. All right, so in the spirit of a Metroidvania type game, we're going to talk about some of the great side scrollers, some of the great platformers from our youth, and then some more recent games. So let me start it off. So when I was younger, the first game I ever played was the original Super Mario Brothers on the NES.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that really started my love of side scrollers.
Yeah.
Obviously it's a classic. That game has been remade countless times. There's tons of sequels. And I think Mario, the smooth controls of it, and the soundtrack, the different level design, really makes it one of the greatest platformers of all time. Even its age definitely shows, but people are still playing this game. People are still speedrunning this game to this day, finding out secrets. It's crazy how much thought can go into such a basic game. Yeah. It's insane. So as far as the NES goes, there's a ton of great side scrollers in my opinion. One of the other ones that I played constantly was Ninja Gaiden, or as it's pronounced in The Wizard, Ninja Gaiden.
Yeah.
Or Gaiden, whatever it's called. That's one of the most notoriously hard games in the history of gaming.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I've ever beaten it all the way, but I've got pretty darn far in it. and it's a fun game. It's super challenging, but I think the combat and the precise jumps, the soundtrack, the level design. If you've never played Ninja Gaiden before, I'd say give it a try. The original, download an emulator or maybe find it if there's like a retro game version. Have you ever played the original?
I've played a few.
Okay.
I was more of a Shinobi guy.
Shinobi Ninja?
Yeah. Was
that for the Nintendo?
No.
Genesis?
Genesis.
Alright, so I think we should specify. So growing up, I was a Nintendo junkie, and Mike was Sega.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Sega does what Nintendo don't.
Yeah, exactly.
So obviously there's the eternal war between which one was better, the Super Nintendo and the Genesis.
The Super NES or Genesis? I like both. I didn't get to mess with the Super until later on with emulators and whatnot, but really good stuff on each platform.
Oh yeah. So before I move on to the Super Nintendo games, what are some of the early games that you remember playing?
As far as side scrollers go, obviously there's Sonic.
Yeah, Sonic the Hedgehog.
There's a bunch of there was so much stuff back then, especially that was the side scrolling day. Everything was side scrolling pretty much. But a few of my favorites, Golden Axe.
Okay.
Have you ever played Golden Axe?
Is that considered a side scroller? Yeah, it's a side scroller, but it's more of like a beat 'em up, isn't it?
I guess.
Because I was gonna put Ninja Turtles on here, like Turtles in Time.
Yeah.
But then I decided against it.
Is that a beat 'em up?
I think it's more of a beat 'em up than a side scroller.
So are we just talking about platformers?
Yeah.
Okay. Then there's still a crazy amount. Ghouls and Ghosts.
Okay.
That was on both things.
It was, yeah. That was on the original NES, wasn't it?
Yeah. So there's that classic. Would you? Then Castlevania has to go on there.
Yeah. I do have.
See, for me though, it's Castlevania Symphony of the Night for PS1. Not
okay, yeah,
that's Super NES one. So.
Yeah, that's Alucard, right?
Yeah. I love that.
I know my Castlevania.
Yeah, that was pretty much the only Castlevania I played for a while until I emulated and played the older ones and stuff.
So, my favorite Castlevania game of all time is Super Castlevania 4 for the Super Nintendo.
Mm-hmm.
That game, aside from having some of the best combat mechanics in an older platformer, has some of the best music, I think, in the history of. You know what? Yeah. I might bite myself in the ass right here, but insert Castlevania 4 music right now. I'm gonna do some editing.
Really?
Yep. Right now. Okay, if there wasn't anything playing right there, I got lazy. But it kind of sounds.
There's not going to be anything playing.
You never know. Have you ever heard the Castlevania 4?
Of course.
Dude, that stuff is crazy good. Also, super hard game. I think I beat it once when I was younger. So while we're on the subject of the Super Nintendo, I'm going to run off a few real quick.
Absolutely, yeah. We can just go back and forth.
Yeah, that kind of made an impression on me when I was younger. So the first game I ever beat all the way through was Aladdin on the Super Nintendo.
Mm-hmm.
And if you listened to our last podcast, you heard me tell the story about how my controller was broken as a kid, and I had no idea. There was like a blanket, like a tarp thing that you picked up, and it helps you hover across large gaps and stuff like that.
You can glide.
You can glide, exactly, yeah. And my L button, which was the input for that, was broken on my controller, so I never knew it. So I beat the whole game without ever using like an essential function.
Yeah,
it made the game so much harder.
That's how good he is.
But yeah, that was the first game I ever played, and Aladdin always, still to this day.
See, I never beat that game.
Yeah, did you play it for the Sega?
Yeah.
So those are actually two different games.
It's way better.
Completely different. Yeah, no, the Sega version I will say is a much better game. The Super Nintendo version just holds a special place in my heart.
Of course.
Because it was the first game I ever beat.
Yeah.
Like I said before, Super Castlevania 4, Donkey Kong Country.
Yeah.
Also, you want to talk about great music? Donkey Kong Country.
I mean, if you want to talk about great music, Mega Man.
Dude, yeah. Oh my god, I completely forgot to put Mega Man on here. No, wait, I didn't. I hate Mega Man.
Really?
Yeah, I don't like it.
No?
I don't like it at all.
What don't you like?
It's just too hard. I suck.
You'll play Ninja Gaiden, but
Dude,
Mega Man?
I got further in Ninja Gaiden than I did in Mega Man because I don't understand Mega Man. I get pissed off at it, and I don't like it, and I'm terrible at the games. I don't know, man.
Yeah. Oh, man.
No, I purposely didn't put Mega Man on there. I just don't like those games.
So, yeah, if you don't like Mega Man, I wasn't a huge... Well, yeah, because I didn't have it when I was little. I had to go back for that. I didn't play Mega Man until, like, the PS1 days. Mm-hmm. Like, X or whatever it was.
Yeah, I had a couple of Mega Man games, but they were the 3D ones that I liked a bit more.
The Legends.
Yeah, I had Legends. And I had another one that was really weird. It was, it was like you went into the computer.
Yeah, Battle Network.
Battle Network. Yeah, I played that one.
The first few of those were pretty decent.
I think I also had another one, Mega Man game, where it was like an RPG though. It was like Mega Man X, and it was like a turn-based RPG.
I'm not sure. There's a lot of Mega Man stuff.
Yeah.
But another favorite of mine was Earthworm Jim.
Another classic game with great music too.
Yeah, great music, great humor, great characters. Just, I like that it's a worm and he's just like whipping.
Oh yeah.
Things with himself.
That game's hysterical. It's so good.
Yeah.
And the fact that he's like a worm inside like a robot suit and stuff, it's
really inventive.
It really is. And that game spawned a whole line of stuff,
yeah.
TV shows and
the cartoon,
the
action
comic
figures,
books.
Yeah, a lot of stuff. When is that going to get like a reboot?
I don't know, dude. Imagine like
I know they came with the remaster. They did the PS3 generation. There was like a remaster of.
Dude, original. Could you imagine a gritty, like Michael Bay-esque, like Earthworm Jim, like do what they did for the Ninja Turtles, like make him like borderline creepy. Like, legit just have, like, an actual worm with, like, Google eyes and, like, a super badass mech suit.
That would be crazy.
That would be.
Maybe. One day we'll get an Earthworm Jim.
So, yeah, real quick, the last couple games I had for my, the older games.
Yeah, go through
one was called Run Saber. You ever hear of Run Saber?
I don't think so. I think I've heard of it, but I don't think I've played it.
It's a super obscure game, I feel like. I had it for the Super Nintendo. Super fun side-scroller. A lot of interesting mechanics. You had, like, these lightsaber swords that you can kind of, like, level up. Not like Star Wars. They were more like energy slashes. They were, like, curved.
Mm-hmm.
And, really fun. It had, like, a sci-fi vibe to it, and you can play as either this guy with blue hair or a girl with pink hair, and oh my god, what's going on? Banana phone.
Someone
ring, ring,
the
ring,
phone.
ring. Get the phone!
They're gonna let that ring on.
Get the phone.
Pick up the phone.
Got the phone.
Mom, pick up the phone.
Mom, the meatloaf. And then the last one on my list was the Disney games that were released for the Super Nintendo. As a kid, when I was like 8, 9, 10 years old playing these games, my parents mostly bought the Disney games because they were family friendly and they were into Mortal Kombat. Even though I did have Mortal Kombat 3, which is, I don't know how the hell I got that. But
it didn't have blood.
Mortal Kombat 3 did.
Oh yeah, 3 did.
Mortal Kombat 3 was vicious. I had Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3. I don't know if there's a difference.
Who knows? Probably.
But so, and the Disney games are tough. Pinocchio.
I never played that one.
Yeah, ridiculously tough game. The Lion King, even notoriously harder. I've still to this day I've never beaten. Even playing on an emulator and using save states, I still couldn't beat Scar. That just shows you how hard of a game that is.
Yeah, that's.
And then obviously, like I said before, Aladdin. I think those are like the main 3 I played.
They're good.
Yeah,
my favorite is Aladdin out of those.
Yeah, Aladdin was definitely, I think, lent itself the best to a side scroller. Lion King was fun. Pinocchio was honestly a terrible game. Just really difficult, and the controls were a little stiff.
But not in a good way.
No. I think I might have beaten that once. Yeah, I definitely beat it before. Not satisfying at all though. So yeah, that pretty much wraps up the classic side scrollers I played as a kid. Did you have any others that you wanted to say before we get into the more recent games?
Strider.
Strider.
That was one of my favorite side scrollers.
See, I know him from Marvel vs. Capcom, right?
Yeah.
The ninja?
Yeah, Strider Hayabusa. Or whatever his name is.
Is it Ryu Hayabusa?
Maybe. Then,
Are they brothers?
What's Strider's name then? Because he has some. Maybe it's something like that.
Dude, you're asking the wrong guy. I never even played it.
It's been a long time. Yeah, I used to love Strider. I have the new one on PS4 as well.
There's a new one?
It's like a remake.
Oh, that's cool.
With like updated graphics, still side scroller, but it's pretty cool. And it's actually still like really hard to, at least for me. But Strider's a really cool game. It's basically Ninja Gaiden, but future. What is going on?
We're having business cards thrown at us. We already closed your goddamn store.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Do they have good notes on them at least?
They have nothing on them. This one's covered in hair. But yes, in case you forgot where we were recording from, Geeked Up Comics and Games. 1097 North Broadway, North Massapequa, New York. 11758. Tell them Brian and Mike sent you, and they'll give you everything for free.
Yeah.
Take
that.
So yes, Strider. I was trying to look up his name, but apparently there's also a band called Strider, and that's all that's popping up.
Yeah. Not sure.
His name is Strider Hyrule.
That's what it is.
Got it.
Hayabusa Hyrule. Like, what the hell?
Hayabusa is the armor from Halo. The Japanese style armor that you get.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when you collect all of the hidden skulls.
Yeah.
You get Ryu Hayabusa. You get the Hayabusa armor, which is like a ninja-esque Power Rangers type armor.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you want to move on to?
Well.
Oh, you got more?
2 more honorable mentions. Bubsy. I don't think Bubsy gets enough respect.
The name sounds familiar. I don't even know what it is.
He was like a cat. But I don't know what he was. He was like a cat-ish type person.
Mm-hmm.
Mascot, I guess. And,
This is for Sega?
Yeah.
Huh.
There was a bunch of them. There was a newer one that came out too, which was terrible. And there was a 3D one back in the day as well. But the original, or the few of them that were on the Genesis were actually really good. At least from what I remember. They're probably not very good. But I enjoyed those back in the day. And also Vector Man. Anytime I mention platformers, I have to mention Vector Man. Just a really good game. That was like a futuristic, like, he was green and he was made out of like balls.
Made out of balls?
He would like green balls and he would like
Not
expand and stuff and he could do things like that. That was a really fun play.
I remember last time you spoke about it, I looked it up and it looked like a pretty cool game.
It is.
And then we found out they had a sequel.
Yeah.
It's funny enough that you mentioned that. As a kid, I actually played a game for the Super Nintendo called Vector. But it had nothing to do with the Vector Man. It was like a space robot. Oh, no, wait.
Vector EX.
That was called Vortex. I'm sorry.
Vortex?
Not Vector, Vortex. And then my brother broke it by trying to clean it. And he, instead of, you dip the Q-tip in the solution and then you like scrape it across the cartridge.
Yeah.
Like, he poured the solution into the game.
Oh.
And just broke it, yeah.
That's,
My brother was not smart. And I don't know, to this day is probably not smart. Anyway, so let me list out a couple of the more recent games that Metroidvania type of.
Yeah.
All right, so first off was a game called Guacamelee.
Yeah. Did you like Guacamelee?
I loved Guacamelee.
That's another one I have to get back to. The second one just came out.
Oh wow! I gotta play that.
It's supposed to be like really good, like 100 times better than the first one.
Really?
So.
I enjoyed the first
and it's co-op
one so
too.
much. Yeah,
it's co-op in it.
Wasn't the first one co-op?
They added it in. They patched it in afterwards, like for the champion.
Because I remember there was a couple different characters you can play as. Like,
Yeah.
There's like a girl, and I think you can play as the villain.
Yeah.
But anyway, it was a super like tongue-in-cheek humor type of thing where you can go between the land of the living, land of the dead. It was kind of like Pixar's Coco before Pixar's Coco with a lot more luchador references.
Yeah, and funny but bright. And colorful.
Very colorful.
Yeah,
a lot of fun.
hard.
Very difficult. Yeah, a lot of cool combos you can do, and humorous but also serious and fun. Very cool boss battles. If you haven't played Guacamelee, very much recommend it. And I definitely, now that I just found out that they made a second one, got to play that one as well.
It literally just came out, I think, on Tuesday.
Oh wow, okay. I got the first one free from the PlayStation Plus.
Me as well.
And another game I got via that same method was Apotheon for the PlayStation 4.
Why do people think they can come in through the back?
I don't know.
They specifically tell people not to do that. Why do people think they're special?
We got to get a sign. Oh my god! See, I'm kind of wishing we had the flies back, because the flies were annoying.
I miss Jeff.
Dude, we killed Jeff. This is our punishment for killing 5 different Jeffs last episode.
Yeah.
That's an in joke. That we call all the flies Jeff for Jeff Goldblum because he played the fly anyway.
Yeah.
So did you play Apotheon?
I played a little bit of it.
So for those of you who have never heard of Apotheon, super cool game based after like Greek pottery art.
Yeah. The old ancient. It's hard to describe. If you've seen like the ancient Greece pottery, that's it.
Literally. You ever watch Disney's Hercules? Pretty much that entire opening sequence with the muses. Yeah. That's the game.
That's it. Actually, not a bad game either.
No, it was a super fun game, and it shared a lot of similarities with God of War.
Mm-hmm.
So, like like the mortal man taking out the gods.
Yeah.
Very super cool game. Zeus is the main bad guy.
Yeah.
Wasn't he also the main bad guy in God of War?
Well, yeah, all the Greek gods were kind of like the bad people.
Yeah, right. But, so Apotheon, super cool. Thank you, PlayStation Plus, for freeing that up. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, so those are like the 2 that I had played for the PlayStation 4. And then, obviously, I owned a Wii U, so there's a couple more. But I'll let you jump in, throw a couple in there.
Absolutely. Yes. We already talked about Dead Cells. So I would include that, but just because I already talked about it,
right.
There you go. So I'll say that. Shovel Knight as well.
Okay.
Shovel Knight. Classic. It was kind of an instant classic. Super funny, super colorful. I recommend it for anyone that likes, remember, what was that, the Donald Duck game?
DuckTales.
Was that the one?
With Scrooge?
No. It was with, what was that Donald Duck one on Super Nintendo?
Dude, I don't know.
Anyways, it plays a lot like that. And also, not necessarily new, but Beautiful Joe.
Yeah, Beautiful Joe is I mean, I wouldn't group it in with the classic arcade games, because it came out so much later for, like, the PlayStation 2, right?
Yeah.
So I would say that's more of I don't know, I might be dating myself, but I guess that's more of the modern era of the platformers.
That's what I'm saying, like, yeah, it's not necessarily new, but it's not old. It's not retro.
Kids nowadays might be like, that's retro.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, PS2, a lot of kids consider that retro.
Yeah,
now,
that's true. That's sad. That makes me feel old.
And Limbo.
Yes,
I played Limbo.
I did play Limbo. I don't know if I ever finished it though. That was a super fun game.
Really good.
Yeah,
Limbo and its pseudo sequel. I guess they're not really related inside, which is really good as well. I think I like Limbo more just because something about that black and white art style.
Yeah.
And it really struck a chord with me.
Really good. Very different looking than any other platformer.
Yeah. Another game that doesn't get any talk, Dust, an Elysian Tale. Have you ever heard of that?
No.
You would really like it too. It's a side-scrolling, hack and slash game with RPG elements, and you play the characters of like anthropomorphic. Is that the word?
What, like animals?
Anthropomorphic. Yeah, they're animals. Like very
like Zootopia.
Yeah, and it's very cute, and it's like Disney made a new side scroller.
Okay. That's cool.
Very, very much like that. I would highly recommend that for anyone. And lastly, but not leastly, Rayman Legends.
Rayman Legends is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
My friend, my fiance's brother, he was playing the mode with the musical notes. You know what I'm talking about? Like when you make the songs?
Well, you jump to the music.
You jump to the music, and like swing and stuff and whatever else you do.
Dude, that gets so hard towards the end where it will, like, you can't see the screen, like it'll do crazy things with the screen while you're running, like it'll, like, go into static mode.
Oh my god.
While you're running. And it'll also, not only do that, it'll like, go in and out of that, but not only that, it'll go into, like, multi-screen mode.
Jesus Christ.
So you'll see same thing, but split in, like you're playing a 4-player game, like something.
Man.
And it'll do that at random. Well, not at random, because it goes, but like it's the parts.
Jesus Christ, they really want to torture you.
Yo, that game gets crazy.
Yeah, I remember him, he was stuck on the Eye of the Tiger level.
Yeah.
And he was just like replaying it over and over again. Mm-hmm. Dude, that rendition of Eye of the Tiger was stuck in my head like for weeks.
Yeah, because they have the original level, like, that's fine, that's not hard. But then, like, as they go on, they have like that level but harder. Mm-hmm. So yeah, they'll just do like crazy things like that.
That's cruel. Like,
yeah,
that's ridiculous.
Yeah, some of that stuff. Yeah, really tough.
All right, so I have a couple more on here. I want to give a quick shout out to the Angry Video Game Nerd game that had come out for the PC.
Oh yeah,
like super awesome throwback to classic side scrollers. Mm-hmm. If you haven't played it, it's so much fun. I think I still have it on I think I have it hooked up to one of my Steam accounts somewhere.
Yeah.
I gotta see if I can re-download that because I think you would love it. It's so much fun, and it's got. If you've ever watched the Angry Video Game Nerd, there's so many throwbacks to his older episodes and stuff, like destroying some of the terrible games that he's reviewed over the years. Shout out to him. He's honestly, like, James Rolfe and the whole Cinemassacre thing is like one of my like biggest influences as far as like YouTubing and podcasting and stuff. He's awesome.
I was never really a fan of him. Not that I'm not. I just don't. I never really seen any of his stuff.
Yeah, his stuff is honestly hysterical. But
I know he's super popular. But
yeah, no, I've been watching him since like when he
Forever.
Some of his first episodes, like the Bugs Bunny birthday Blowout or whatever, where he literally kicks the shit out of Bugs Bunny for an entire episode. Anyway, not to get off track. And then I had the Wii U, so gotta mention Super Mario Brothers U.
Yeah.
Which was one, I think to this day the smoothest version of Mario, like the classic Mario system I've ever played. It side scroller wise, not talking, because like if we're talking not the 3D games. And then Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. Great soundtrack.
GBA, right?
Huh?
GBA?
No, Wii U.
Oh, that's on the Wii U?
And then they just re-released it for the Switch, which kills me because it's full price, but they added in another a Funky Kong mode. And I love
Nintendo don't drop prices like that, bro.
Dude, sometimes they do. I picked up Street Fighter 2 for $20. It was on sale. So, once in a while. And then, last but not least, I gotta give a shout out to Cuphead.
Yeah.
So, I'll be straight up with you. I've never actually played Cuphead. I don't have a PC that can run it. And I don't have an Xbox. But
me neither.
I've watched enough gameplay from it to know that I would absolutely love this game. And I just want to give a quick little thing. Typically, if it's not a big budget AAA title, a Call of Duty or an NBA, you know what I'm talking about? Just like those games that come out and, do crazy business. They tend to fly under the radar, which really sucks. And I think, and the fact that Cuphead got so popular, it gives me hope for the future of the platforming genre.
Yeah, I just really wish it was on PlayStation.
Why isn't it? Or the Switch? It would be so perfect for the Switch.
Yeah. I hope, maybe there was, eventually we could get it, but I don't have hopes for that.
Yeah.
I think you would get really frustrated from everyone that I know that has it. Mm-hmm. They pull their hair out from that.
You know what it is? I think the style of animation they use for it, because as, I'm a huge Disney fan.
Yeah.
And just classic...
Steamboat Willie.
Exactly, that classic 1920s, 1930s animation style.
It's so cool and so unique.
It really is. I love it. I love those old-timey cartoons. I've watched those cartoons so much.
They're very racist, but, it was... you can appreciate them now, just...
Yeah.
Whatever. There was a time where that was a thing.
Yeah, I mean, not all of them, obviously, but...
No, not all. But
there's a good amount of older cartoons, even newer ones, like Tom and Jerry. There's quite some racist in there. Racism.
Yeah, that art style, though, is just so great.
And it lends itself so well to a game like that.
Yeah.
But
maybe one day I'll, if I start PC gaming a little bit more, I'll get into that.
Yeah, right now I'm just gonna have my hopes up that maybe it drops for the Switch or the PS4 one of these days.
Or another game that has that art style.
What's that other game? Isn't there another game that came out that has the same art style as Cuphead? I always see shirts for it in Hot Topic and stuff. It's Inky or something like that.
What is it?
Inky? No, it's called something. Ink Boy. It's gonna kill me. But there's another game that's I think similar to Cuphead. Ink Boy. No, that's Splatoon.
That's
Ink. Video game. Bendy and the Ink Machine.
Bendy and the Ink Machine.
Yeah, it's got a similar style to Cuphead, but I don't know. I've never even seen gameplay of it, but it's got the similar art style a bit.
But colored version.
I guess so. I don't know. Like I said, never played it.
Oh, okay.
But
I mean, that looks cool too. I don't know, there's something about that art style, maybe because it's so I guess now it's so unique. At one point
I don't even know if it's a side scroller. I've never seen gameplay from it. Looks weird though.
Could be a 3D Battle Royale game.
So yeah, that pretty much wraps up my
hour.
The games that I played. Did you finish yours too?
Yeah, that was pretty much it. Yeah, because I mentioned Castlevania Symphony of the Night before, and one miss Trine. Trine is really good.
Trine?
Trine, Trine.
Okay.
There's there's 3 of them, and you can get the whole bundle for like super cheap. I really appreciate those games. Those are like there's like 3 different characters, and you switch between them. There's like a warrior that's like tough, so you can fight people. Then there's like the mage that can like pick things up with like telepathy for puzzles. And then there's like the archer, like thief type guy that can shoot his arrows and stuff. And it's like a puzzle and doing all that kind of stuff. Really good. I definitely highly recommend that.
It sounds pretty cool.
I've only played the first 2. I have all 3 of them though.
And this is for the PlayStation 4?
Yeah, on PlayStation, on everything, I think.
Okay.
It might even be on Switch too. So check that out.
I'll check it out.
That game seems to have ported everywhere, so I wouldn't be surprised if you see Trine for that. Really good.
Unlike some games,
platform.
Cuphead. But yes. So before we wrap up, I did want to ask you one final question. So, from your experiences with it so far, where does Dead Cells rank among is it in line with some of those classic games? Does it fall more in line with some of the newer games of this generation? Where does it rank on your list?
Very high.
Yeah.
I really think the only game it would be a battle between 3 of them: Dead Cells, Shovel Knight, and probably Dust and Elysian Tale.
Okay.
Those are some of my favorite games, even though Dead Cells is new, so it's fresh. I don't want to say too much.
That's true. The ending could completely suck, so
I doubt it.
You never know.
But those are some of my favorite games, period, right now. As far as like going on, like Dust and Elysian Tale is it's just such a beautiful and well done game. Shovel Knight is just so perfect. Like, it really, as far as like, I think like that is the quintessential retro modern, like where it's like it's so retro, but it's the modern retro where Dust and Elysian Tale and Dead Cells are like they're retro-esque, but they're new, you know? Where Shovel Knight is like clearly such a thing off of,
the throwback,
those old, Mega Man games, and
it's a love letter to those older classic, platformers.
Yeah, the Donald Duck, and I'm gonna find out that Donald Duck game.
It's not DuckTales, right?
It might be. It's
with them bouncing on the cane.
Yeah,
that's DuckTales.
Thing. Okay, is that DuckTales? Yeah, I didn't want to say because I wasn't sure.
Yeah, you play a Scrooge McDuck and he bounces on the cane and stuff.
My brother loved that game.
Oh, yeah.
I was terrible at that game.
Oh, that's a hard one.
Yeah.
They remastered it not too long ago, like within the last 5 years or so.
Yeah. And Shovel Knight has that feature, but with a shovel. So it's like you do the same thing with the shovel. It's really cool. And you can get the God of War Blades of Chaos.
That's cool.
In it. And his armor, too. Like, really cool armor. Really good game. And there's multiplayer in that game. And you can play like other knights now. Like there's the Plague Knight, who was a villain. You can play as him now.
That's cool.
They've released. That is one game that has been supported like to death. Like they've been adding and adding and adding to that game. So
that's cool to see.
Shout outs to those guys. Yacht Club Games.
Yacht Club Games. In this world of developers constantly pumping out new video games.
Yeah.
It's nice to see that a game is getting so much love so long after its release, It's cool. But
love that.
Yeah, so listeners at home, please let us know, what are your favorite side scrollers?
Yeah, we missed so many. We know that. Yeah. Yell at us. Let us know what we missed. Yeah. What are your favorites?
Exactly.
New and old.
Like, Brian, how could you not mention Scott Pilgrim versus...
You hate Mega Man?
Yeah, tell me why I'm wrong for hating Mega Man.
Yeah.
No, I don't hate Mega Man. I just dislike it because it's difficult.
That wasn't your thing, man.
But yes, let us know. We are on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube.
Everything. Yeah, if you have a comment, question, Geeklirious@gmail.com, or jump in the DMs, Twitter,
Absolutely.
Insta, Facebook. We have a Facebook page.
Yeah.
Start a conversation. Us a like. And also, we, you can get our podcast on iTunes.
Absolutely.
We really appreciate the reviews on there and the 5 stars. We really appreciate that stuff. We've gotten a few of those. Yeah. And it just really helps us get seen by people. Yeah. So keep that up. And, follow us on all that stuff.
Absolutely. All right, guys. Thank you so very much. This has been episode 39 of Geeklirious. Signing off.
Yeah. Episode 40 next. See ya.
Woo!